Hey, you, yes, you. So I wanted to come on here because I wanted to share that last night as I was reading Jonah, I received a message. And in the beginning of Jonah, as we know, God is telling Jonah to go to Nineveh and say, "Thus says the Lord." Let them know what God is saying so that many are saved. And for those who have an ear to hear, listen. But Jonah decides to run, and Jonah is running from God. And as Jonah is running from God, he sees these men get on this boat, and he pays this fare to get on the boat with them. So when he gets on the boat with them, God sends a wind over the water, right? And they're going through the storm, and it's rough. The boat is going from side to side. They're panicking. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "What's going on?" But as they're panicking, Jonah is in the bottom resting. So they go down and they're like, "You don't feel the storm? What's going on?" And they all decide to see who is at fault for this storm. And it comes back to Jonah, and they're like, "Who are you? Like, what is going on?" And he's like, "Well, I am, my father is the creator. He's the creator of the seas." And he just gets to talking about who he is. And they're like, "Well, what have you done? You have angered him." And Jonah lets them know that the only way for this storm to cease, you must throw me into the water. And they're like, "Well, we don't want to do that." So they try to figure out other things that they could possibly do. But then they realize the storm is only getting worse. So now they got to do what they got to do. So they take Jonah and they throw him into the water, and their storm ceases. So I want to come to you with this story because we look at Jonah and his running and him moving in disobedience, right? But I want you to look at what the men went through. Because Jonah came onto their boat, there was a storm that came into their lives. They panicked. They were going they couldn't understand what was happening. Turmoil was taking place in their lives, and that's what happens with us. Like there's times when we're like, "God, why? Like, what have I done? I'm paying my tithes, I'm praying, I'm living right." And you don't understand why this storm in your life. But sometimes we got to look at who we are connected to, what we are connected to. Because sometimes it's not even your storm you're going through. It's because you are connected to people and things that God is chasing, that is moving in disobedience, that God is trying to get to do His will. And while you're going through the storm, they're resting. They're like, "Whatever. I'm trying to live my best life," but you're enduring their storm because of their disobedience. So just like the men didn't want to let it go, we don't want to let them go. We're like, "Oh, I want to be there for them. I don't want them to go through. I got it, so they got it." When God is saying, "Let go and let God," it took them throwing Jonah into their water for their storm to cease. Sometimes we just gotta, though we love them, take our hands off, remove our hands, let God do whatever He needs to do in, through, and around them. Yes, they might have to go through the belly of the whale, just like Jonah did. He may have to take them through some things. They might have to fall to get back up, but those are the things that are necessary so that the people we love, the people we are connected to, the people that God is chasing, that is causing storms in our life, to walk in obedience and do what God says. So even though we love them, understand that it took the men throwing them into the water, for him to go into the belly of the whale, for God to get him in alignment and get to Nineveh and do what it is He had commanded for him to do. So I just wanted to put this out here, my brothers and sisters. If there's a storm taking place in your life and you just can't understand, and I'm not saying all your storms are due to somebody else, but there just might be some people and some things in your life that you are needing to throw into the water, that you are needing to take your hands off of, that you are needing to let go and let God, and allow them to go through whatever it is God is trying or send them through, so that they are walking in obedience, because God is wanting to use them to save many. There's a call upon their lives and they're running. So we can't allow them to rest. We can't allow ourselves to continue to go through their storm because of their disobedience. It is time to let go. It is time to let God. It is time to throw them in the water. It is the best for you, and it's the best for them. They will get to where they need to be, and your storm will cease. I love you, brothers and sisters, and I thank you for watching.